You know, every big project, every business, even our own personal goals, they all have risk baked right in. But what if I told you there's a way to design a system, an architecture, that protects you from the worst of it? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today, the architecture of risk transfer.
Forecast. High-impact risks beyond human control. Whew, that line really sets the scene, doesn't it? It sounds a little scary, for sure, but it's just the truth. It's the reality for any business, any project we take on.
So we've got this forecast, right? These huge, unavoidable risks. We can't single-handedly stop a recession or fix a global supply chain. But here's the thing. While you can't control the storm, you can absolutely control how you prepare for it, and that's where the power is.
And that's really the heart of it. Trying to stand up to some of these forces all by yourself, well, it's like trying to stop a tidal wave with a beach towel. It's not about how strong you are, it's just about recognizing the sheer scale of what you're up against.
This brings us right to the core problem, what we call the destabilizing burden. I mean, what really happens when you decide to face these massive risks all on your own? The cost is pretty high.
And it really boils down to this. The burden? Carrying all that risk by yourself. The consequence? Destabilized outcomes. Your results just become totally unpredictable, all over the place.
But, destabilized outcome sounds a little academic, doesn't it? So what does that actually look like in the real world, for a real business, or just for you and me?
Well, it looks like this. It's missing your financial goals because a key supplier disappeared. It's watching a huge project go completely off the rails. It's having to shut down your business unexpectedly. Or, on a personal level, it's just that crushing financial strain. These are the real-world symptoms of going it alone.
Okay, enough of the problem. Now let's talk about the solution. This is where it starts to get really interesting and, frankly, really powerful. We're going to talk about a totally new way to think about risk.
And that strategy is called risk transfer. Now pay close attention to the definition here. It's a strategy to shift the potential financial impact. So you're not getting rid of the risk itself. You're just moving the financial fallout to someone else who's better equipped to handle it.
And this metaphor is just perfect. You can't stop the storm, right? But you can definitely build a shield. That's what risk transfer is. It's your financial shield. It's a defensive strategy, and it's an incredibly smart one. So, how do we actually build this shield? What's it made of? Well, there are two main ways, two practical paths you can take to put risk transfer into action. Let's break them down.
First up, we've got contracts. This is all about being really intentional with your legal agreements. Things like indemnity clauses or warranties. You pinpoint a specific risk, let's say a contractor damaging something, and you write it into the contract that they are financially responsible. And just like that, you've transferred that risk.
And method number two is the one we all know, insurance. This is the classic example of risk transfer. You pay a small, predictable amount, your premium, and in exchange, you hand over the huge, unpredictable financial risk of, say, a fire or a lawsuit to an insurance company. It's now their problem to cover.
So let's tie this all together. When you start using these strategies through your contracts or through insurance, you literally change your own forecast. You go from being exposed and vulnerable to being secure and stable.
This chart just shows it perfectly. As you transfer more risk, your exposure plummets. And at the exact same time, look what happens. Your stability skyrockets. It's a direct trade-off. The less exposure you have, the more predictable and stable your results become.
So here's the bottom line, the before and after. Before, you're dealing with high exposure and totally unstable outcomes. After you put a risk transfer strategy in place, you've got reduced exposure and, the big prize, you have gained stability. Honestly, this is a total game changer. This isn't about just ignoring risks or pretending they don't exist. It's the complete opposite. It's about looking risks square in the face and having a smart, strategic plan for it. The goal isn't to be fearless, it's to be prepared.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one question to really think about. In your business, in your career, in your own finances, what's the one big risk that you really need to stop carrying all by yourself?